I'm back here on the Volkswagen again, trying to get it finished up. What I did is I took a board sander and flattened pretty much everything here. I need quite a bit more Bondo on it, and hopefully today I'm gonna try to put the license plate bracket on it and kind of get it primed. But for now I got to just put a lot more Bondo on it and sand it off. Here it is, sanded after the guide coat. I got just a few little rough spots in it, not bad at all. I'll just mix up a thin coat of Bondo and put it on here. I'm not gonna try to do this super good. The guy just wants it kind of in one piece with the windows in it and trade it for that Mustang, so I'll throw some Bondo on it and see what we got. Gotta get here on this back of this Volkswagen. I put a skim coat over the guide coat. I think this has got most of it. There might be a little left, but I'm going to sand this off and squirt some primer, clean up this window, and I'm going to try to see if I can get this rear window rubber and glass in here. But for now, I'm going to just clean this up, throw some primer on it so I can get a license plate. I got all that stuff down there, so that'll be the next step, moving on this damn Volkswagen. I rough sanded this down with 36 and 80 grit and shot it with this direct to metal primer. That'll seal all the rust and stuff. Don't look bad. I've still got quite a few scratches in it, but I can pour another couple coats of primer on it. Basically it looks okay. I've got a whole gallon, so I should be able to clean this up pretty good. Basically I need to put another coat of primer on it, let it dry, and do it with 180 or something, and then the final coat. But basically it looks okay like it is. It looked kind of bad when it was still wet, and I do have some places in there that need to be fixed. But again, you know, I'm not trying to take this to a real nice finish or anything, just get it all done, the window in and primered. Somebody else can finish the paint. I just want to get it good enough to trade it for that old Mustang and move on to the next thing. The next day the primer dried pretty good. All this white stuff on as far as dragging the hose across, but I cleaned up little places here, especially around the window. I'm gonna Bondo this all up here and try to get it ready for a rubber. I think we'll be all right. I'll have to open this up here with a little rotary tool, and I've got some stuff here. Apparently the guys, he really don't care what it looks like. He just wants windows in it. So he has a lot of junk cars, and he's not really after a really super nice job or anything. so I probably won't have to put the carpet in or anything. On one hand, I'm kind of disappointed because I'd really like to make this a really nice kind of street rod. On the other hand, I got another at least a week, probably a pretty hard work to do that. It's still going to take me 2 or 3 days to get both these windows in and cleaned up, but that's where I'm at now. I'll put some Bondo on it, and then I'll throw the license plate and stuff on it there. Move forward. Well, here's the straighten this up with a grinder and a metal grinding tool. Put another coat of Bondo on it. This is all pretty good right here. I got a good sharp edge all the way along here. Got a little low spot right here, and some right in this area here. But basically the window looks real good. You can see on this one, this looks real nice right here. Rubber will go on that nice. Probably going to have to trim this little piece of metal down here. But first is I got to get my edges out to where I want them. It's mostly right there on top. So I'll mix up a little Bondo and get that done. Well, I Bondoed that up across there. I think that's probably going to be my last go around. I'll let it dry good. I think it's going to be enough. I tried to get it as much as I could where it needed it, and used a little bit more here, patching up this crack. This side here got a pretty big gap in it here, and I'm sure if I just fill that with Bondo it'll just break. So I'll lay a piece of rod in there and re-weld it, and then I can Bondo this part too. I've got this straightened out pretty good. All the edges are pretty sharp. It's pretty smooth. Got a lot of this ground down. And I tried my rubber in there. It looks like it's going to fit. And I welded this place up here. So what I'm going to do is mix some of this good epoxy direct to metal primer and shoot this thing. See what it looks like. Here's the result. Looks kind of shiny. I can really see all my sand marks in it. This is a direct to metal 2-part primer. Needs a lot of sanding and final stuff here to get this ready for paint. But I didn't have any hardener last time. Well, I had some, I just didn't use it. But this time I mixed the right amount of hardener from a different kind of paint in it. It smells like it's kicking off. So this is a primer surfacer. It's pretty heavy. You can see here where it kind of ran. That's pretty thick stuff. And it should be good and hard, good enough for glue to stick. That's the purposes of this stuff, to bond to metal and be able to prime over it and it won't come loose. I could have put a little more here. I put quite a bit on here. There's at least 2 real good wet coats over over all of this where the rubber goes, and I cleaned up some of my metal stuff here, but it looks pretty good. You know, from 5 feet you really can't see much wrong with it. Nothing that you know, a jitterbug and 180 wouldn't take care of, I don't think. Mostly just sand marks, scratches. But I think this is good enough to put the rubbers in. And I think I can move on. I'll let this dry. We've got a couple days here before I get to working on it again. I'll probably just let this dry for 2 days and probably go ahead and work on the top there and bondo this up. And this is pretty much all done. I just need to DA it down and put the primer on it. I'm not gonna go too crazy on this. Like I said, the guy's not after a real nice paint job or anything. He just wants it together, and I got plenty of work. I gotta clean up this front and put the windshield in it, and have to pull those seats out. I've got carpet for it. You guys have watched the video of it before, but looks real nice actually. Kind of semi-gloss, and you can see all the errors and stuff in it, but I think that's good enough to start putting the window in it and move on to the rest of this project. I started cutting on this lexan. It's pretty thick, 1/4 of an inch, and what I did, I put it on the car and put a light in it and just marked where roughly bigger than what I need to cut it. I use this little air baby sawzall thing. It works okay. It's slow, but it is cutting it, and so I can see I cut way outside of my line here, and now I'm going to try to use a I don't know what you call them, a flappy disc, and I'm going to try to just take this edge off of here and see how that works. This stuff, if you try to cut it very fast, it melts, and so maybe this will work. Okay. I switched to a new 40 grit flapper. It's cutting real clean. I got about 1/4 of an inch over here, and I trimmed this corner up here just by eyeballing it, and now I got to cut a piece out of here, a long one. I'll mark that. This is where the inside of the metal is, right here, so I need to cut it a little bigger than that. So I'll cut that off, and then I can go ahead and trim this. It cuts real good with that flapper. It's controllable, and so it looks like that's a good method of trimming this stuff. Go ahead and get this marked and trim it some more. That little pocket knife's about 1/4 of an inch. I just stuck it in here for a spacer, and I got just a little bit here. I've got about 1/4 of an inch over here, A little less here, but I got the corners pretty good. It's all fitting in there. I don't know how much gap I'm going to need, but I'm kind of hopeful that this will be it. My next trip, I guess, would be to try to get the rubber on it and see if I can even start to get it in this hole. Find out, but it's in there and it looks good. At this point, I could just silicone that thing in there and save myself a lot of trouble, but I already bought a rubber and everything, so I'm going to try to put it in. A while to get that rubber on it. I'm kind of tired, don't want to fight it. I think I need to trim the edges up so there's nothing rough, and then use soap and water. But by the way, that primer, I just blew it off with a air gun, and it just cleaned right up. So primer looked good, it hardened real nice, and I've at least got the window cut now. Just a matter of putting it in. Well, I started fighting with getting the rubber on this thing. Kind of got both ends and the corner on and taped, and now I'm just trying to spread the rubber part and get it over it. This probably, I've been working 45 minutes at least on this. I still don't know if it's going to be too big for the wind frame or not, but I'm just trying to force this rubber over it. Keep pressing on. Well, I tried here, get this in, and it just won't fit. Just a little too big all the way around, which is I figured that might happen. But what I've done is took an ink pen and marked it all the way around here to where the rubber's fitting on it good. And I need to take about 1/4 of an inch off. You can kind of see here it's rubber setting like 1/8 of an inch to the outside, where this one is pretty much flush with the edge. So even though it was a pain to get that rubber on, it shouldn't be so hard the second time. So I can pull this window out of here and cut about 1/4 of an inch off of the bottom and one end, and hopefully it'll fit in there. I'm gonna have to glue it in, I'm pretty sure. And this thing all day sanding, and I got most of it knocked off, and I just sprayed it with primer. Looks pretty good. I did some of the back end here under the bumper area. I got most of this pretty decent right in here. I didn't really do much to the top there, but I got this bumper done and the hood scoop and front end. This all looks pretty good. The main thing I was after was this window channel, and it's all sanded smooth and primed well. This is that direct to metal stuff. It'll turn out pretty nice once it dries. So at this point I can go ahead and cut the window for it, stick that in. Of course the whole car still needs to be cleaned up and ground down and bonded, but that's pretty decent. And main thing is I can get that window in there and go ahead and put the chrome trim and stuff on my lights. So I'm basically done at this point. At least for today, I'll get out of these fumes. I'm moving forward here on the Vette. I got the two pieces of lexan cut for the front. I tried to blow all the dirt out of it best I could with the air. I really wish I could have finished this car. It looks so good here, this black paint. You know, another couple days of Bondo work and the top would have been all done, and looks good. But I'll just kind of have to move on. I've got plenty of work to do on that Mustang, and who knows, I think the guy's gonna keep it here, and I'll probably be working on it again. I know he wants to put a spoiler on the front and then one on the back, and needs some kind of bumpers, so I'll probably be working on this car some more. So even though it's kind of saddens me to see the project go without being completed, I guess I had my fun with it. So I'm going to strip that plastic off there and tape that windshield in, and then I'll put the rest of this chrome on here, and I'll pull it out of here and I can pull the Mustang in and start working on it. Oh, there's a window in. It looks like somehow I scratched it. I don't know if that was me cutting it, probably taking it out of the box. That's irritating. Two vertical scratches in it. I've got enough plastic there for one more window piece. I'll give the guy that. Hopefully it's not scratched. That was disappointing to pull the covers off there and see that big old scratch in it. And it's pretty deep. So anyway, we got one more window. I put all of the door panels and all the carpet and everything for it in there. I've got two door window rubbers for it. Basically, I've just hauled it all up in there, and I don't know what he's going to do with it, but basically I just have to put a couple little bolts on this stuff here, and I got a Mercedes grill here that I made for it. I don't know where it's at. It might be under this pile of stuff here on the AMX. But it's all cut, and I've got another Corvette thing up here on top that goes on it. I'll try to get that, find that, and put that on it. Tighten up a little bit of stuff here, check my wiring, make sure everything's still working, and give it back to him. It looks pretty good, you know. Sure disappointing to have those scratches in the window. I don't know if the camera's showing them very well, but you can sure see them from the outside. Anyway, just about done with this. Here's the front end. Here's the front end on the thing. I put my grill in it. All the little chrome pieces are on it. I guess I'll probably see if I can back it out. Well, here's Mr. Rat out in the sun. Kind of mostly done. Quite a bit of dirt and stuff on it, but looks good. I'll pull it over there and park it. Like I say, boy, I sure wish I could have got to finish it, but all in all, it was a good project, you know. Looks real good with glass and everything in it. Well, here's the first time in the shop I've seen daylight in a while. Keep sweeping. Pull the Mustang in.